Hello everyone, this hour on Verbling, the next in my Getting Results in Business series. We're completing our Unit 20 on being innovative, working on part 2 of our case study. In yesterday's class, we worked on a case study that presented a business problem, and we worked out a kind of presentation to deal with that business problem. Today, you'll get a chance to do a full presentation of your own. Well, at least the introduction to the presentation, and we'll probably have one final class just about a business presentation related to your own business. So today we'll work out the full presentation. You can do one on your own, but we'll develop it in today's class and present it tomorrow. So you'll have lots of opportunities to work out your presentation and really get the details down. Well, that's a bit about my class. Here's a bit about me. I'm John Eric, your Verbling teacher for this hour. I'm an American teacher from New York, hanging out in Lisbon, Portugal to bring you this class. By the way, here are 3 quick rules to help you participate. Don't forget to turn off, tune in, and open up, which means turn off your microphone so we can keep the classroom quiet when you're not speaking. But when you are speaking, tune in to the new words. Use them actively so that I can correct you and give you feedback. Finally, open up to your classmates. Relax and have fun. We're all here to learn, and this is a safe and respectful place to practice your English. And that is a little bit about me. What I'm going to do is get the presentation on screen. Here it is. In this unit, let me make sure that's being shared. Okay. In this unit so far, we have, actually, I need to share a different presentation with you first. 1 second. Let's start with this one. Okay. In this unit so far, we've been talking about ideas and innovations, the vocabulary to discuss these. We've listened to the presentation of an idea, product, or service. We've learned practical skills like thanking and responding people in a presentation or just in work in general. And at the end of last week, we talked about ability in the past, present, and future. That way you can easily, in your presentation, show how the lives will improve of your customers, what they'll be able to do in the future as opposed to now. In yesterday's class, we had a case study, which I'm sharing with you on the screen now. We read an expert view that gave us an idea about what a business pitch should be like. We read a case study, Concrete Canvas, which was a product that was meant to help out in disaster relief, and it's an innovative product, something very different than what's out there. We talked about it a bit, and then we went to an actual pitch here, pitching the product. So what I'd like us to do first, let's just review the pitch that we came up with yesterday. So if you go to, let me just quickly share my screen for a second. Okay, so now on screen, this is the outline that we worked out. This came directly from our task. Step 1, introduce yourself and preview the product. Step 2, introduce an idea. Step 3, talk about the benefits of the product. Step 4, compare and contrast the present to the future. Step 5, talk about the present stage of development. Okay? So this was Yuki's example. This is what you said in class, Yuki, and I just cleaned it up and added a little bit of information. Okay? But it's basically what you said. Oh, look, Igor, I've got your presentation there from before as well. So, Yuki, could you just read the example we did? This is the one that you said. I changed a few of the details, but could you read it for us just as a kind of a warm-up so we can get into the spirit of presentations?
Okay. Example introduction. My name is Yuki, and I'm the product development coordinator for Concrete Canvas. What I I'd like to do in this presentation is give you a clear sense of what our product is all about and how it will be the game changer in the
Good.
market. So first, what does game changer means?
Game changer means that the entire industry will change as a result of the innovation.
I see. So first, I'll give you a brief overview of the product. Then I'll talk about the major advantage, what it had been, what it had over other products. After that, I'll tell you how it will enable you to provide a more robust solution in disaster relief than conventional ones. Last, I'll bring you up to date on our current stage of development and what we see as our prospects for the future with your support and the potential return on your investment.
There you go. So that was more or less what you said in class. I just added a few vocabulary words, okay? Like game changer, like robust solution is another one. Are there any vocabulary words that are new, different, or that you don't understand in this context besides those two?
All clear for me.
Okay, so I'll just underline a few that I think are important. Potential return, prospects for the future. These are all pretty good. Okay, so Igor, you've done, let me get my presentation back on screen. You outlined a presentation a while ago, right?
Well, yeah.
Okay, so if you do you have the notes open? The ones I was just sharing with you. Do you have those open?
What do you mean?
In the class material, we have a presentation, and we also have getting results in business notes. So,
well, I don't think I have anything of that.
Okay. So look, there's the link to the notes.
Okay.
Can you open that on your computer?
Done.
Okay, and go down to page. I'll tell you in a second. Go down to page 6.
Okay. It's just loading.
Yeah, it's a little bit slow.
Yeah,
Now, what I'm going to suggest, because this introduction was taken from Yuki's outline, right? So this is pretty much what he said in class. I added some vocabulary. But what I'd like you to do is to take your product, in this case it's an IT service, and I'd like you just to take this as a model. So take out the content words and put in your own. I think it will give you a really concise way to introduce your presentation. And the keywords, I'll put the vocabulary words in underline, and I'll put the keywords in bold for you.
I have something to say.
Go for it.
I'm here only until the half of the class because I will have to go for work at the point. So if I leave, don't feel like I left because the lesson was not really exciting to me.
I might cry. I might cry, Igor.
It is exciting. Just I will have to leave because I really need to go to work at that point.
I understand. Okay, so before you have to leave, I want you to take a look at. It's a little hard for me to share my screen, but I'll try to put it back on screen for a second. Okay, so take a look at page 6 quickly. Okay. The key vocabulary is underlined, vocabulary that I think might sound good in any presentation. And the connectors, the connector words are in bold, first, then after that, last, right?
Mm-hmm.
What I'd like you to do is take your information and swap it. So you've got, take Yuki's information and swap it for your information and see how your introduction sounds.
Okay.
Then what, that's the plan, okay? As you talk, I'll make changes. Your name is not Yuki, your name is Igor.
Well, yeah.
Okay. So I'd like to see if you can fit it in, because it'll give you you can make changes if you like, don't worry about it. But as an exercise, I'd like to hear your introduction using this as a model, because the structure is really good here. It is a very clear layout of the presentation to come. Okay? So give it a try.
Okay. Okay, my name is Igor, and I'm going to present you the benefits of choosing our solutions for developing websites.
Good, except say your job role. What's your position? Yuki was the product development coordinator.
Okay,
what
let's say I'm the lead developer. Let's just dream for it.
Let's dream. Lead developer for, and for what company?
Company is called, well, just don't laugh. We will make it UPER.
Any company you like. Give me a name.
The name is We Will Make UPER, like, you know, like a cat.
We will make you purr. Purr like a cat or just purr?
Yeah.
That's WWMYP. So WWMYP. We will make you purr. What kind of company is this exactly?
Well, this is, you know, it wasn't me who came up with this, but the owner of the business, and he thinks that it is funny, but I don't think it is. I just work there. It's like
sounds a little dirty to me, actually.
I told him about that, but he says that he knows better.
All right. Okay. So as you speak, I'm going to change the details in the text. Okay. So let's try it again from the beginning. Don't add very much. I want you just to kind of swap the information and stick to the structure. Okay? So from the beginning, my name is Igor.
I'm the lead developer for WWMYP. Okay. What I'd like to do in this presentation is give you a clear sense of what the benefits of choosing us for developing your website is.
Not is. Right, because it's benefits, right. Okay, so what the benefits of choosing our service are?
Yep.
And what we are all about. Well, it's a good expression.
Okay.
To be all about is a good expression. I'll underline it. Okay. Now, say something in regard to the market, if you can. In Yuki's product, it was a game changer in the market. Maybe your product is also a game changer. What can you say in relation to the market?
I don't think it is, but it's a booster.
Okay.
Okay, and how it will be a significant boost to your to the development efficiency.
Okay. And how it will be a boost, you said?
A significant boost.
A significant boost to your what?
Website development efficiency.
How about to your presence online? Something like that. Or I mean, because I want to talk about the market here. I don't have to use the word market, but what I want to do, or what I want you to do, is to show the potential customer that there's going to be a real effect. A significant boost sounds really good, but don't get technical. If you get technical, you're going to lose them. You've got to make it really clear and concrete.
Okay.
So for example, a significant boost to your web presence or to your presence online. Like
Okay.
I don't know if that makes sense, but if that sounds good, we'll keep it.
Wow, you know better.
Well, but I don't know your job. I'm not a web developer, so I'm just guessing. I
Well,
assume,
well,
yeah.
maybe it makes sense but I wanted to underline that it's not just a boost to your presence there. It will be partly, but it's mostly because it speeds up the process and speeds up it really, really well to great.
Okay. So we can say and ultimately your web presence. So a significant boost to your, I don't know, like efficiency. It speeds up the processes online, whatever like your databases and stuff. It speeds it up.
Maybe your time efficiency.
Okay. Time efficiency. I don't really know what that means, but we'll keep it for now. And ultimately, your presence online, or something like that. It's okay for now. It doesn't sound bad. Okay. Now you go into the structure of your presentation. First, then, after that, and last.
Okay.
You can change any details you like here, but don't lose the structure.
Okay. So first, I'll show you a brief introduction of the sites we already developed.
Good. Wait. I'll give you, not show you. I'll give you a brief introduction to the sites we develop.
So the sites we already developed.
We have already developed. Okay? Very good. By the way, Yuki, if you have any suggestions, just jump in. If there's anything you think you ought to add, okay?
Okay.
All right. Okay, keep going. Then, Igor?
Then I'll talk about the major advantages that our way of developing sites brings.
Our approach to site development
brings.
Bring, because it's advantages. The major advantages is plural, so it's got to be. Am I wrong about that? I'll talk about the major advantages that our approach to website development.
Well, I think that approach brings, not.
That our approach. Oh, I see. Yeah, you're right. You're right. But I'm going to change it to make it even better. Will bring. This is the future. You're right. Approach is singular. You're right. That the advantages that our approach brings, or the advantages that our approach to site development will bring. I'm going to keep it in the future. I think it sounds a little bit better.
Okay.
I might change my mind, but for now I think it sounds better. After that,
I'll tell you exactly why this approach is going to significantly boost.
No. You can't use that twice.
Yeah.
You can say how it'll be robust. Robust means strong. So you can be a stronger something. So how it will be.
How it will allow you to construct your sites much quicker and much more
robustly.
Much more structuredly.
Structuredly. Okay. It will. And after that, I'll tell you how it will allow you to. One more time. Give me that one more time. Allow you to
build up your sites.
Build up your sites quickly and
much more quickly.
Yeah, quickly and
structured.
It doesn't sound good. Structuredly doesn't sound good. I know the idea. That's clear, but structuredly, I guess you'd have to say with. What's the important thing? Why is structure good? If you can tell me that, I can find a better word.
Because a great structure, a good structure, allows you to easily add new features and easily remove unwanted features. So
okay.
It's not about, rewriting the code once again, but about making a little adjustments, and those adjustments are pretty straightforward. So no problem for any
So the
programmer.
right. So the key word is flexibility more than structure, right? From your point of view as an engineer, it's structure, but from the user's point of view, it's flexibility. They don't care about structure, right? They care about that they don't have to start from scratch every time. So to build up your sites quickly and with greater flexibility than you may have, and you could have imagined, Okay, because it's a sales pitch, so you got to make it sound really good. Last, how are you going to finish your presentation? Here, it says, I'll bring you up to date on a current stage. Okay, so that's your goal. You are going to bring them up to date on your current stage of development because you're asking for investment money. Okay, but you don't have to say it like this if you don't want to.
Okay. Last, I'll talk about how exactly the scalability is going to bring you a great advantage on the market.
Talk about how our okay, I'll keep it like this. Scalability will, say again?
Scalable approach, maybe.
Okay, good. How our scalable approach will enable
you to, will enable you a great advantage on the market. Will enable you to be in a great advantage on the market.
Gain market footholds you may not otherwise have
had.
Yeah, it's got to be had. Okay, fine. Footholds means opportunities. So it's a good vocabulary word. Okay, and I think that's it. Let's see. Okay, and then maybe you want to say something like, of course, I'll take questions and comments at the end. Okay. So, what do you think? What do you think, guys? What do you think, Yuki? Do you think that's a pretty good presentation and introduction so far? Yeah, go ahead.
I think it's quite a good presentation for the. It's a good sales pitch. I think he tried to appeal the advantage of using this service, and there are a lot of appeal words, sales pitch in this text, in this introduction. So people have interest, and people should have interest in the service.
Yeah, I think he gets his main point across, even following the other introduction as a formula. I still think that he puts in the details that are significant, like the flexibility, the scalability, things like that. I don't know what they mean yet, but I get the sense that they're important. So Igor, I know you've got to go to work very soon. What do you think about doing the full presentation in tomorrow's class? You've got the introduction done. It lays out. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay. You've got the introduction done, and you've got kind of an outline that you did previously. What do you think about doing the full presentation, including visuals and demonstrations? What do you think about?
Well, I might try, but I think it will be a good experience. So.
Okay, so that's your homework for tomorrow. Okay, let's just make a ground rule. It really can't be longer. I mean, like 5 minutes would be the absolute maximum. So let's say 3 to 5 minutes max. If it's possible to put in a few visuals, even better. Nothing fancy, but 1 or 2 slides, just because it gets boring to look at a screen that doesn't change. But really present really present the product and follow the introduction that you just gave us. Follow that. Okay? If you want to make changes, you can make changes. I'll send this to you in the chat window as well. In fact, I'll do it right now. Well, I can't do it now, but after class I can send it to you. Okay? And I'm going to try to get Yuki to do one as well. And whoever shows up tomorrow, I know everyone's still on vacation, but whoever shows up tomorrow is welcome to try. I'll send out the message for some of the people that usually attend, and we'll see if we can get them in here. Okay? So, if you got to go to work, you go right ahead. But that's your homework for tomorrow. Follow your introduction, use your outline from before, and see if you can do the full 3 to 5 minute presentation and convince us to give you money, Igor. That's the goal, right? We're investors. So you've really got to show us that your product works. That's the goal. Don't forget, it's not just to tell us about the product, it's to convince us to pay you for it or to invest. Sound good?
Sounds like a lot of work, but it will do.
Yeah, it's not going to be a lot of work. It's an exercise.
But I'm not sure about slides because I may not have enough time for that.
What I suggest is the reason I say slides is to get used to doing a real presentation in English where you will have slides. So what I suggest is go to Google Images, type in keywords, download 3 or 4 images that roughly fit as JPEGs and share your screen. That's it. Just something really simple. You don't have to do anything. It doesn't even have to be perfect. Just to get you familiar, just to have a dry run, because someday you're going to do a real presentation in English and you'll remember this experience. So that's why I suggest trying out the full thing. Literally, go to Google Images, put scalability, see what comes up. Right? That's it. Keep it simple. And then use Microsoft, whatever they call it, Image Viewer or something when you share your screen. Keep it really simple. Okay? So, have a good day at work. If you're leaving, if you're sticking around, stick around. But we're gonna be expecting your presentation tomorrow. So, don't fail us, Igor.
Okay.
Don't fail us.
I will not.
So, Yuki.
Yes.
I'd like you to do a presentation as well, but you don't have to do concrete canvas if you don't want to. We did that as an exercise. What do you think? I think your introduction is really good, and I think you should use it. But what product or service would you feel more comfortable trying to present?
I don't know. Maybe online teaching service. Maybe it's
the Yuki
for
School.
example.
Like
Barbering.
Yuki.com. How about that?
Yes, Yuki Barbering too.
I think Yuki.com is more catchy.
Okay.
Yuki.com sounds pretty good. Okay, it sounds good. So let's see how we can do this. Let me just take a quick look at the task today. We looked at the presentation. In the old task, what we had to do was we had to use these. I think you were in that class. So, hang on a second here. I'll just leave that on the screen for the moment. What we can do here is I've got the outline from yesterday, the business pitch. So I'm going to move your introduction on page 6. I'm going to move it to page 5. Give me a second here. Move your introduction up, and we're going to adjust your outline here. Or maybe I can share. I'm going to leave the key expressions on the screen because we might use them. Okay. So what I'd like to do is to basically adjust the pitch, adjust the outline so that it has the key ideas that you want to express in the actual presentation. And then in tomorrow's class, you and Igor can do your presentations. Whoever else is in the class is going to be responding to them, so it'll give you a sense of what it's like to deal with an audience. And hopefully, maybe I can put out the homework before about how to thank and respond people as well for some of those key expressions. So if we go back to our business pitch, we've got those 5 steps. What I'm going to do here maybe is, we've already got the language there, so I want to just maybe put in a few details. So, for example, let's go right to step 3, benefits, right? What are some benefits that Yuki.com would have over the competition? So if you're trying to get funding, how can you sell the idea? What are some advantages? Is there a biggest advantage, for example?
Yes, there are big benefit of using our service. There are roughly there are 2 main benefits of our service. One of this is how to say, it's accessibility, easy accessibility. You can learn Japanese anytime, anywhere, when you want to learn it. It's a big benefit. Using internet, our service is mainly intended for. Our service is mainly intending for mobile phone user.
Okay, good. So that's your niche.
Yes, mobile phone. Yes, mobile phone. Yeah, iPhone is mobile phone. Yeah.
Exactly.
Mobile phone users. In comparison with the conventional service, before many service provider provided before many online schools provided these kind of services via internet with using a computer. But now it's a time of not computer, not a laptop computer, but of mobile phone. So we mainly we focus our service focuses on the mobile phone users. So so using mobile phone, you can access to our class anywhere, even from the transportation, even from the inside, even from the train when you go to the office, go to your office.
Commuting.
When you are commuting. So it's quite convenient for busy person, the people who has not time studying at home.
Okay,
that's the main purpose. That is the main benefit of using our service.
Okay, so you've got 2 advantages that I hear. and you've got one comparison and contrast. So you've got information in parts 3 and 4. The biggest advantages that I heard are easy access and convenience, if I understood correctly. Your niche market is mobile users. And your comparison and contrast is that before everyone needed a laptop or PC, but now mobile users will have the same access. So that means that even on public transport, you could study while commuting, right? That's the gist.
Yes,
Am I right?
that's right.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, good.
The other benefit of using our service is the multi-language approach. That means now many online schools provide mainly English class, but our class provide for everyone a lot of a class of a lot of languages. For example, when you want to learn Tagalog, you'll have a class especially for Tagalog. So nowadays, many English is quite standard language for communicating. So many want to learn English, but English, because English is quite because speaking English is quite normal for everyone. You only speaking English is not enough for people to appeal their ability to, for example, to get a job. So second and third, so ability of speaking second, third languages is good appeal for approaching for getting a new job. So our company helps such a people to
just a question.
To stand out. Yes.
It sounds good, but just a question. So what you're saying here is another comparison and contrast point, which is good. But my question is, I don't quite understand yet the difference. You said, so nowadays most schools use English to learn the second language. Like if you want to learn Tagalog, the instructions will be in English. I think that's what you were trying to say. So do you mean that that Yuki.com will teach you entirely in Tagalog as an immersion experience? Or do you mean that if you're a Japanese speaker, you don't have to then use English to learn Tagalog, you'll learn Japanese to learn Tagalog? In other words, that there's more language pairs than English. Do you see what I mean? I didn't understand the point about English exactly. Do you mean that there's just more languages to choose from? Or do you mean that the instruction is not in English?
I think instruction is not mainly our target users of our service is not beginners, intermediate and advanced language learners. So main language of teaching in our class is it's target language.
Okay, good.
So we explanation of in the class is taking place. Yeah, it's conducted. Will take place. Will take place in these target languages. This feature enables us to pick up a good teacher, not an English speaker teacher, but native teacher to teach in our classes. That enable to easy to get to hire the good teacher, I think.
Okay, that sounds like a very good plan, and you're absolutely right. The American companies and British companies often use English because they don't think about it. Whereas the French companies, if you noticed, at least I've noticed that French companies in particular, like commercial products like Astamil or something like that, they really work with language pairs, which is interesting. So you'll learn Tagalog through French, or you'll learn Tagalog through your native language. They just repackage their program with different language pairs, which is really interesting.
I would like to add the I can remember.
Besides, yeah.
Besides, I would like to add the other. I can't remember the.
Well, just say the idea.
Yes. Also, the teaching, our approach approach to teaching languages is also we also our approach to teaching languages is direct method. So
okay, like Berlitz.
So it means that student can our teachers try to explain in our class using picture, not using words, but using pictures, gestures, pictures and gesture, and every visual material to explain that to enable for non-English speaking teacher to teach student even in beginner classes. So that's the main benefit of using our service, joining our classes. So every student, not only English speaker student, to understand what is going on in the class with the help of visual materials.
Okay, sounds very good. So the direct method, kind of like the Berlitz schools are supposed to be.
Yes.
I don't know if they really are that way, but that's how they're supposed to.
I also
because I one time I was trained at Berlitz. I didn't take the job, but a long time ago I had training, and the training sounded great, like good ideas. They used all the theories by Stephen Krashen about comprehensible input. It sounded really good. Some good techniques.
Good technique, and also.
Right.
Many Japanese very fond of direct method. They really like to be taught by native speakers, even in beginner classes. So you'll be the star if you come to Japan.
Well, next year, not this year, next year.
But here in Russia, students like to teach in Russian, like to learn English or other languages in Russian explanation. So that's a big difference between our countries.
Well, the only disadvantage that I see so far is just that your teachers really need to be trained. And the problem, and it's not to say that Berlitz is a bad company. Maybe it's great. I don't know. But when I was doing that training, the training was not adequate to be a good teacher. It was just like an introduction.
Yes.
And so you'd have to really learn. If your teachers were supported, you'd pick it up within about 6 months, and you'd get the hang of it. But that week of training wasn't enough. So the only disadvantage I see is because when you're doing the presentation, you might want to anticipate the questions that are going to be asked. So one question would be like, well, you're going to have to really, where you're going to get these qualified teachers from who really know how to use the direct method.
Yes, direct method is a big burden for teachers. Teachers have to prepare enough much for conducting direct method. Yes, it is very difficult for.
So if I was going to invest in your company, I would want to know how you are going to improve over a company like Berlitz that uses the direct method, because they're online as well. And I'm sure you could. I'm sure you could come up with a better idea. But that's a question that might come up. One last point here. The last point in the outline is present stage of development. So to attract investors, you do need to tell them where you're at with things so they know what their money's going to go towards. So let's imagine your present stage. Where are you just, is this just an idea in our imaginary presentation, or is it already complete? Hang on just 1 second, I have a problem here. 1 second. Okay, I'm back.
Yes.
So, are we just at the idea stage, or have we launched anything? What's our present stage of development?
Present stage of our business is prototype class. We already provide test classes in the internet, via internet, using mobile phone, and we already achieved excellent result of teaching with our teaching method using mobile phone. We have already a lot of students. We have already a lot of attendants, attendants to your service. So and the reputation from the student is quite good. So so on the whole, our business is going successfully.
Sounds good. Okay.
Only at the prototype stage.
Right. Well, it sounds good. Seriously, Yuki, this is actually a very good idea, because no one else is doing this successfully yet. There's a couple of like iPhone apps that people are using, but they're very limited. So the
Yes,
idea,
that's the problem.
yeah. And so this is actually a very good idea, for real. It's a good idea.
But gradually, with the development of technology, I think such a problem, I mean the problem of insufficient technological ability, insufficient ability of devices will be resolved as the technology will improve.
By the way, just a quick question. In this scenario, are there live teachers using so the interface is like a Verbling classroom, but with a phone? Are there live teachers?
Yes. Basically, idea is the same as the service like Bubbling. Only our service main target of our service is mobile phone users. So interface is quite simple. Interface is simpler than that of Barbarings. And screen design is quite simple. Unfortunately, teachers cannot use cannot use strong tool like Google Document,
Right. Yeah.
Overdrive. I can't
whatever it's called, doesn't matter. Yeah. But that's okay. That's okay.
Google Drive. Yeah. Teacher can use, but our service enable teachers to use chat box like Bubbling. So teacher can explain with text using chat box beside the main screen.
Sounds good. You know, one thing I've seen online are presentation apps that function very much like Microsoft PowerPoint, but they're done for your mobile phone.
Yes.
And I've heard, I haven't used them, but I've heard they're actually very good, because what you would think would be a limitation, which is the screen size, they try to turn that into an advantage by having you focus on only one thing at a time. So you can't overdo your slides because you literally don't have the space and you can't see all the options. So it's actually, they try to make that an advantage to give you less options so that you have less cluttered slides.
Yes.
So you could do something similar here. Well, let's do this. To finish class, let's go back to your introduction from yesterday. Just like we did with Igor earlier, let's keep the exact same structure, but let's just swap out the concrete canvas details for the Yuki.com details, right? So we're not going to change the text greatly, just put in the details so that you have your introduction done. So far on the top of page 5 you have, my name is Yuki, and you're not the product development coordinator anymore. You're the CEO, now the CEO of Yuki.com. Let's go through, we've got 4 or 5 sentences here. So let's go through them, add your details so that your introduction is done, and then it's just a matter of giving the details, and maybe you and Igor can present tomorrow. So after that it says, what I'd like to do in this presentation is give you what? You want to keep what you have or change it?
And I'm a CEO of Yuki.com. What I'd like to do in this presentation is give you a clear sense of what our service is all about, and how it will be. Game changer is not a good word here. It will be a how it will be a innovational idea in the teaching market, in the language teaching
language teaching market. Sounds okay to me. You could also say,
it is our service is connected with the education, so apparently sales catch is not good for audience, because among audience is I suppose that among audience there would be teachers, educated people, not business person. So
I don't know about that.
I don't
I
like
don't
to
know
use
about
a
that.
game change like a word like a game changer
Well, I have to say that
market.
the educational market is worth literally multi-billions of dollars. So it's a
Yes,
market that people are really after. They're
of
trying to
course it
private, yeah.
it involve in big money maybe.
But
So
think about Verbling. Verbling goes around. The founders go around raising money all the time.
yes.
It's called the ed technology, educational technology market. So I guarantee you that you don't have to do the presentation for only business people, but your
Yes.
purpose is to get funding. That is your
I see.
purpose.
I see. I suppose how it will be hard to to be being leader of this kind of service like forwarding.
Probably not easy, but here you have a very good idea.
Gathering money is very difficult
Well,
task.
yeah, but I'm sure they like that part of it. You people like you and me don't like business, but business people love raising money. So for them it's fun. For them it's
Love,
fun.
they love. I don't know.
Sure, that's what they went to school for. They went to school for business. But yes, for me and you, it's not so comfortable, but for them it is. That's what they
I
like to do.
understand, but I'm not a person of this kind of word, so
Okay,
I'm
so
not
you,
good at gathering money.
but
So
all you have to do is sound convincing. And so the first impression you make will be with this paragraph.
okay.
So let's see what we have so far. My name is Yuki. I'm the CEO of Yuki.com. What I'd like to do in this
What I
presentation is
like
give you a
to
clear
do.
sense and how it will be an innovation in the language teaching market. That sounds good. Now we've got the structure. First, then, after that, and
So
last.
first, I'll give you a brief overview of the service.
Okay, sounds good.
Then I'll talk about the major advantages that is has in comparison with conventional ones.
In comparison with conventional. Okay,
That of
so
conventional, no?
with
Mhm.
conventional ones, fine.
Okay.
Sounds good. After that,
After that, I'll tell you how it will enable you to
this part we have to change properly.
yes,
Let's
how
get rid
it
of that.
will enable you to
Well,
after that, I'll
think about
tell you
the key advantage, the key purpose. What sets it apart from everything else? What will people be able to do in the future?
how it will enable every student to to learn languages. They not only and how it will enable students, every students in the world to learn any languages they like using our service easily.
So let's, instead of every student, let's say any kind of student.
Any kind of
Sounds better
people,
here.
maybe people, any kind of people,
Any kind of person, because it's singular. Any kind of person to
how it will enable
easily.
you to any. How we will enable any kind of person to easily learn any languages they like,
Even
even
while commuting. Or something like that, because the point is it's mobile, right? So if you have a laptop, you can
any
move
language,
around.
even Tagalog.
Well, the key idea is that it's mobile.
Easily learn any languages.
How about this one? In a more convenient way
In more convenient way.
than ever before. That's my way
Yes.
of saying it. You can change it if
Very
you like.
good.
All right. Well, we have to stop at this point. So what I'd like you to do then is you've got your introduction pretty much finished. You can make changes if you like. I would like you just to follow the structure of your introduction. When you do the actual presentation, try to keep it to roughly 3 minutes, 3 to 5 minutes maximum. Try to do what I said to Igor as well. If you can go to Google Images and find 2 or 3 images as you're speaking, it might be a good dry run for the real thing. Okay? So
Okay.
I'll give you a link to this document as well, so you can go back, copy, paste, change things around as you like, and we'll pick it up in the final class tomorrow, where we'll try to do 2 presentations. Maybe I'll do 1 as well if I have time. Look, I'm in the jungle. Can you see the palm trees here? Maybe I'll do a short one as well. Okay, so we'll pick it up to do the full presentation tomorrow at the same hour, and we'll do 1 more great short stories before that, because I'm going to be leaving. So I'd like to see if we can read the whole short story before I go. Okay.
I'm looking forward to joining
Me
the
too.
next class.
Okay. Bye for now.
Thank you.
Talk to you soon.
Bye for now.
Bye bye.
Take care. See you.